Thursday, October 21st, 2021. I actually was able to find out from CBS this morning. They actually talked about the NFL League, and it talks about, Nate actually mentions that the NFL is 75% Black or African American players. It's only 25% white. Just so this way I have an actual statistic from an actual ex-football player or football player or somebody who is part of that franchise. So I have an accurate statistic.
Sitting at a table right next will be 100% of that will go to help needy people. That's awesome.
And Jonas is our big cheese boss here in case.
That's right. In case people don't know, that's exactly right. But I love how she took the little video of me because I was like, "It's Bruce, it's Bruce." All right, let me start with the stories we think you'll be talking about, including this: the NFL and a big change to the way the league will settle concussion claims. The NFL is eliminating a process known as race norming in its testing of retired players for dementia. So here's what race norming is. It's an antiquated method that assumes black players start with lower cognitive function than white players. And the NFL allowed the use of this outdated practice since a $1 billion settlement was reached at least 7 years ago. 7 years ago, this settlement was reached, and they were still using this practice. Now, advocates say that made it harder for black players to prove they have cognitive deficits. Thousands of black players have been denied settlements they would have otherwise qualified for. Former NFL player Clarence Love told Wesley Lowery of 60 Minutes Plus he believes he was denied a payment because of the race-based formula. He said it hid his actual cognitive impairment. Listen to this.
It's unfair to be scored or judged different than your peers based on your color. It's like on the black athlete's part, it's like we gotta be dead or damn near dead to be paid out.
It's heartbreaking to hear that. The settlements that may become available to these players can total hundreds of thousands of dollars each. I encourage everybody to check out Wesley Lowery's piece on 60 Minutes Plus, on Paramount Plus. He's done a lot of reporting.
So talk about stereotypes.
So the NFL was saying basically like, you're already like that, that's why we're not going to give you the payout?
Exactly.
Right.
Because you're black.
The reason why this is upsetting because this dates back to the inception of the league, where they said because of cognitive learning, black players weren't smart enough to play the quarterback position.
Right.
And now, so many years later, they're talking about cognitive function. And then on the other side, there's a financial aspect. League is 75% black.
Right.
So if you deny more African Americans, you have to shell out less money.
Exactly.
Consulting on so many levels.
It is.
20,000 NFL players, retired NFL players, and their relatives have applied for the settlement, so we'll see where that goes. Okay, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is asking Congress to give a fair and equal paid leave to America's parents. She sent a note to Democratic leaders this week. Meghan pointed to her own family as an example, saying she and Prince Harry had the privilege of choosing to stay home with their new baby. She said, with paid family leave in place, any family in America will be able to do the same thing.
Alright, so for my purpose, star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. It being October 21st, 2021, and me having a hole in my tetra that I've been working on. Sometimes the word black was used for, in old medical journals, something turning toxic, something turning septic, something turning necrotic. These are the words or terms that they use in the Physician's Reference Guide. So in that sense, the word, this ratio that everybody gets really upset about with this flag thing going on for symbology at the NFL, for however the players were picked, it's not necessarily skin color in that sense, but for me, I have more of like a translucent skin, so you can see, especially between my ankle, like the exposed part and my unexposed part, this part, if I drink a lot of coffee, I drink a lot of beta-carotene, or other things, my skin will actually turn a shade different than what I was normally born with, and they call this toxicity level. That has something to do with, they were saying at one point, cognitive function and toxicity level, but these are like at high war crime area. But then the general public gets on these political machine campaigns and then ruins everything when one person needs to reference the actual origin and then needs a couple of people to try to help out, and then it looks like there's a hole between your understanding of what I need. I'm being purposely targeted for some reason. I saw Angelina Jolie quietly had some kind of lip brace on, and they didn't show up for one of their award shows. They actually had someone else, and they sent them the verse, and they read for them. I know that that symbolically was a gesture of something else, because they couldn't make it themselves, or they said they were exposed to COVID or something. But I know she specifically, I thought it was paint at first, had some kind of lip brace. I have a feeling it has something to do with the acknowledgement of what I've got going on, and the electrolysis marks on my foot, of some kind of, they call it spark for a reason, SP and then ARK. It's arcing energy from the earth grid and natural grid into an unnatural, unconditioned state that then affects the biology. And that's what I'm suffering from in the current area at the moment. But I don't know how to get help through all of the God's workers, which I heard they just had some pig kidney that they took out of an animal. They put in a deceased person and watched it for 54 hours, and they genetically modified it. So this way the deceased person, and that was like their first God's work. That's what they call themselves anyway. So this way in the future, whatever, but I'm not going down those political campaign routes. I have like real serious issues, and I didn't ask for this, but I can't seem to find help. And then there's like legal ramifications. I'm thinking like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, and I'm like showing signs of toxicity problems. Why can't I get out? Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361, and it's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken.